To manage my threads and my thread ranges, we have a new app, TruE Thread Cache. At the top of the dialog we can see three tabs: My Thread Ranges, My Thread Databases, and My Thread Stock. To add a thread range to your My Thread Ranges, open the drop-down, select the thread range manufacturer, in this case Madeira. Now all the manufacturer's thread ranges are listed. Select the one you want. Then click on the arrow to move it into your My Thread Ranges selection. By default, the new thread range will appear at the bottom of the list. To reorder the list, select the thread range and click on the up or down arrow. Should you want to remove a thread range, just click on the minus icon. The next stage is to set up My Threads. TruE can have multiple My Thread databases, so you can have different thread stashes for different projects. I leave the default My Threads and create a new one by clicking on the plus icon. Enter a new name for the thread table. The new thread database is now highlighted, and, as it does not contain any threads yet, the thread list is empty. To add a thread, find the thread on the left-hand side and click on the blue arrow to push it into the My Thread database. Rather than going through all the ranges, as the next thread I want is a Robinson-Anton thread, I can narrow it down by typing in the filter Robinson. Select the thread range. Again, as I have the thread number, rather than searching through the whole thread range to find the colour, I enter the thread number. Then highlight the thread and click the arrow to move it into My Threads 2. To add the stock levels, click on My Thread Stock. For each thread there are a number of columns, including one for the number of spools and one for spool size. You will notice that most of the colours have 0 spools. However, some, such as the black and white, have 2. The reason for this is that there is a default My Threads installed with the system, for which the stock levels have been entered. So, when I add those colours to My Threads 2 database, it retained the stock value. The principle to remember is that you can have as many My Thread tables as you want, but they will all refer to one set of threads. To update the other threads, select the thread, then click on the plus icon, or double-click on the spool figure and enter the new stock amount. When the threads were entered into My Threads, they were given a default spool size of 1000 meters. If you use a lot of a colour, you may have purchased it in a larger size. For instance, a 5000 meter cone. To change the size of the spool, select the thread and click Edit Selected. Now the spool size can be changed, as well as add notes to the thread. If the spools are sold in yard length rather than meters, we can also change that. Notice the dialog refers to All Selected. So if I had selected a number of threads, they could all have been updated at the same time. Now we have the stock level entered, we can send the information about our thread stash to the iPad or iPhone. But before we do that, we need to make sure we remember to buy the desired threads when at the store. For this, we have the first column. Most important is to mark the thread we have no stock of. Looking through my planned project, I can see I need some more metallic gold and the strawberry daiquiri. To be safe, I think I will need more than one spool of the red, or strawberry, so I'll just add an extra note. Now my threads are complete. All the threads are in, the stock level is set, and the threads I need marked.